And that's the answer. We don't know God. If we knew God, we'd set the world on fire.
Hey, bro, I just appreciate you, bro, for jumping on here.
I appreciate
and,
you.
and getting ready to just tell us what's popping with Fem. You feel me?
I appreciate it,
So, bro, I just wanted to kind of like open up the floor for people to get to know you and like your testimony and everything with pertaining to Jesus and stuff like that. So, where you from? All that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm from, I was actually born in Nigeria, West Africa.
Okay.
Green, white, green, represent.
West side.
Yeah, actually, I lived there till I was about 7, and from 7, I moved here to the States, moved to California, and from there, I was pretty much just all across the board. From 7 to about 18, lived in a small town called Beaumont, kind of the outskirts of LA. I want to say it's like 45 minutes out. So it's not too far out. And from there, I moved to Santa Barbara for 2 years to go play football at a junior college. And that's when things kind of got crazy for your boy.
Right.
And from there, took a scholarship to Troy University in Alabama.
Right.
Finished on my degree, and then took a job offer in Fresno, California for about 4 months, and then relocated to Atlanta, Georgia for 4 years, and now I'm here in Tacoma, Washington.
Dang, I didn't know you were in Atlanta.
Yeah, for 4 years.
Oh, dang, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh no, for 3 years. 3 years.
3 years. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man.
Bro, what was your like family dynamics? Were you like the oldest or like?
Nah, man, I'm actually the second youngest, man. I got 4 sisters and 1 brother, so it was a pretty big, loud household.
Yeah.
Family dynamics, 2-parent household, all the way till I was 18. Grew up in a Christian-based environment. My mom was really the anchor of the faith, so she held everything down as a staple. Made sure all her kids were moving the right way in regards to their beliefs, and kind of setting us up in regards to just making sure we were grounded in our faith.
In your faith.
Yeah.
That's kind of similar with me. That's kind of crazy because my mom was more grounded. There was some background with my dad, but more so with my mom. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part with pertaining to that there's similarities with my story as well.
Man, we're twins, bro.
So yeah. So like you growing up in that, what was like your relationship with like your mom and your dad, and also pertaining to the faith? Was it something that was like real, or for you, or was it something that was like, oh, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna do my thing?
In regards to my faith, it was pretty much just saved by association. When all it is you're why you laugh?
Cause just saved by association just sounds so dope,
bro. Yeah, I was saved by association, drinking out the false grace fountain. So pretty much all it was I'd go to church just due to the fact that it was what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I really didn't understand, the gospel itself, but again, I knew the concept of who Jesus was, but it wasn't what I was walking with.
Wow. Yeah. So it wasn't like real for you.
It wasn't real for me. It was real to a sense, but it wasn't. I was a fan, not a follower. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So up until this point, like what was some of the things that you like faced when it came to like your faith?
Yeah.
And where it became real. When was that point in time where you what was the things that you struggle with?
Yeah.
Pertaining to things of like sin or things that you wrestle with up until that point of encountering God.
Bro, like most men our age, just growing up, you deal with the adolescent teen issues as far as acceptance, looking for acceptance from women, people, your peers, play sports, acceptance from your coach. So you're pretty much trying to validate yourself from everybody else, not validating yourself from what God, who God says you are. So I'll definitely say some of those issues. Just the anxieties of growing up, wanting to fit in, things of that nature. So those were probably my biggest issues for the most part.
Wow. So like, during that phase of like women insecurities, things trying to validation and acceptance. When was that time where you like began to like really encounter God for yourself? Like besides mom and pops, like what was that like?
To be honest with you, man, it was kind of a long process, man, because I was always a theology. I don't want to say theology nerd, but it was something I was always interested in.
Just hungry for it.
Yeah, hungry for it. I always thought it was interesting as far as, just comparing different religions, seeing, what this religion says who God is versus what this religion says who God is. So I've always had some kind of interest in theology, but I was always grounded in the Christian theology, the Judeo-Christianity, as far as my faith-wise.
Yeah.
And as far as when it really became real to me was, man, not too long ago. I want to say about 3-4 years ago when I was, battling some things, whether it was just anxiety, the, emptiness as far as like, hey, man, what am I doing? What is my purpose? Yeah, what is my purpose? Yeah. I'll cope those questions by just kind of, oppressing and putting them to the side, whether it was with women, going out, turning up with the boys, things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What was that like? What was the time for you when you started to follow God, and then now, up until that point, now you're serious, now you're grounded in your faith. How did you remain grounded and you sustain that walk with Jesus?
Man, it was several things. One being in me having a true understanding of what the gospel really was. I feel like with the American gospel nowadays, it's definitely a hyper grace, narrative that's being pushed out there. Like, hey, it's all good if you do this on Saturday.
It's all Gucci.
You could show up to church and stamp your punched in card and go out and do it again.
Yeah, you Gucci.
You're Gucci. It was really understanding what the gospel was, and really understanding how that pertains to my life. And at the end of the day, you and I aren't worthy, regardless of what we do, regardless of how we live our lifestyle. It's us, accepting who Christ is and believing in that, and having Him transform how we think, how we move, our day-to-day actions. I say just understand the concept of the gospel, and also I think for me being I don't want to say skeptic, but I definitely had skeptic ideologies in regards to what I believed. And once the Bible really became real to me, due to some of the guys I was listening to, whether it was Ravi Zacharias, Vodi, Abdul Murray, listening to different apologists, and them really helping solidify, scripture to me, really helped me basically just anchor my faith down. So,
just like listening to other voices that were coming from a biblical perspective.
Correct.
That helped you to be grounded.
Correct.
And that's key, bro, because honestly, something for me personally, I used to listen to Tony Evans, Dr. Tony Evans, when I was in college. I used to listen to different people as well. And when I begin to listen to him, I just kind of get stirred up, and I know that was probably happening to you as well. And you kind of get that hunger. What's some other ways that practically, like, did you like hang out with certain people that helped you? Because I know friends, like you were saying before with your testimony, with hanging with the wrong crew or with certain peers, it can kind of stir you or move you in a different direction.
100% community is key, man. Especially since I'm out here, I feel like I've had a bigger sense as far as, who I was hanging out with. Shout out my boy Josh Acosta. Little Inky with a Binky.
J Money.
Alright. People of that nature, to where when I am going through things, I could, pick up the phone and just dial it up. Or if I do have questions, just have basic conversations. I know you and I, we chop it up about every time we pick up the phone. About apologetics, kind of, the biggest issues within the community and things of that nature. So,
that's what's up, bro. And like now that it's you've kind of sensed that of how, talking through of how you're grounded. What would be your encouragement maybe to people our age, because we're millennials, but also people that are younger that are coming up in the faith, or maybe they're not even in the faith? What would be your encouragement? Let's just say the encouragement to those that are believers that are watching. What would be your encouragement to them? Walking through their journey of peer pressure and, let's go to this party. Let's go to, whether they're in high school, college, whatever.
Yeah, I'll definitely say is really understanding what true grace is, not abusing it. Because it's so easy in our society nowadays to abuse grace. One, that's what I'd say number one is. Number two is I'd say we're in an era where there's so much information out there, technology, so much access to different things. It's easy for people to get, led astray. There's so many different doctrines out there, so many different perspectives of what truth is. So you really have to find the concept of and ground your faith in just the true biblical principles of life and just the gospel in general. So I definitely say just grounding yourself. Just grounding yourself and really understanding what true grace is.
Bro, that's fire. I appreciate you so much, bro, for your willingness to open up and be transparent and just open up, with your story and testimony. So appreciate that, bro.
Appreciate you.
Deuces.
Am I looking at this camera? That. Hey, it's your boy
That
Jordan
boy press
McLeod.
record. This ain't.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Wow, you gonna do the light skin look?
Hey, subscribe, comment, hit like. If you hit dislike, hit it twice.